And thank you very much for joining for Castlevania Aria of Sorrow again. Let's double jump. Perfect. Alright. We were just going to do the boss since we did that exploring last time. Most of here is explored now, just one area that we can't even get to at this point, so... Golem, I think, right? Yeah. So, we were having troubles with Golem earlier. Just regular Golems, mind you, and he's gonna... Oh, not Speed Rocks. I thought he was. He does, ow, a lot of damage. And he hurts. A lot. But he is, ow. He's not actually expecting that to hit. Ow. He's not even trying to hurt me, he just kinda is, because his fingers are right there. So, I mean, it's kinda hard not to hurt somebody when you're... Okay, now I think he's doing it. Oh, no, he's not. Okay, if we don't happen to see the rock spewing, I'm going to be a little surprised. Yep, there we go. There's a little bit of a tell. He drops a few rocks and then... I wish we could get behind him easily. Then we could do some real damage. Just gonna keep doing that, huh? Alright. Oh, there we go. He broke his mold. Ah, Golem. I don't know if that makes sense, actually. Whatever. We're damaging him, so... That was done. Not particularly hard. Let's see. Yeah, doesn't even level this. We were a bit over-leveled. Slide by... Hold on a second. So I think we have to... I'm pretty sure that happens to be an enemy. I just can't remember which type of enemy that is. But we can do that now, which is... Alright, I guess we could have explored this episode, because we're going back to where we were. Because we can slide now. I apologize for that. I kind of forgot. I didn't kind of forget. I did forget. Otherwise, I honestly would have just waited. We can get a new weapon, though, which I believe happens to be stronger than the one we currently have. It does not have the range we have, though. But depending on how much stronger it is, we might switch to it. We'll see. I was going to say, the range on the whip sword does happen to be quite nice. It's not the most strong. Hey, another level. I mean, well, last episode I guess I do regret it a little bit. Oh, hey, we can get the... Okay, good. Missed. High potion. And blue. 2, 3. Okay. We are doing more damage, which is nice, which means we're also taking less damage, which is also nice. I'd like to get one of the weapons later on that happens to be really good, honestly. It happens to be not quite as good as in Dawn of Sorrow. It's a bit better. I think it's probably the strongest weapon in both those games, though. So, or at least I think it is. I'm just coming here for one more Creaking Skull because they're easy and give 2007. I'm curious how much. Enough. Give 110. It's not awful. We could get that with killing. We could get another level by killing 20 of them. We are not going to be doing that though, as that is boring. Very, very boring. Sorry, skeleton or ghost dancers, but alright. Kotal. Let's see. Let's see how far it range. Wow, I forgot how short that was. I mean, this doesn't do that much less damage, honestly. I'll stick with this because it does still do decent. Oh, boo! I forgot about that. I thought that was just background. Okay, and that means we can't get up this way. Long way it is. Alright. Just to get that one item over there. We could go grab that one other thing that happens to be the item that I don't really like. I think it's actually just a book telling us what we need. I don't even know if we technically need to grab the books, or if you can just do it since you've played Aria of Sorrow. I don't know. So I'm just trying to... Okay, just straight right. Which, that's not hard. That's not hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still. It's like a truck, but can't really dodge. That's fine. Yeah, the whip sword, I really do hope happens to have a good replacement. I'm getting better at using L. I need to just get used to it. That's the thing. I thought there was an item over here, not a transition, which that's fine. Let's go to the transition. Inner quarters. Remember correctly, you hurt. Although you're not using your trademarked vacuum. She uses the vacuum to fight, at least in the sequel. I think she does on most of them as well. I think we can just make that, yeah. Okay. It's a little hard to hit, but not like obviously undoable, as we just saw. Okay, did that take you out? Nope, that did. Do you guys share screaming? I think they do, actually. Oh, actually, we're about to get to one of the bosses that can be a bit hard. I kind of forgot about him. We do have potions, though, so I don't think he's going to be too terribly hard, honestly. I was going to say, if this is a save point, we're not stopping quite yet. Okay, so I don't think there's anything we can do about you yet. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Eventually we can, just not at the moment. I think we can sit in this if we have the proper stuff. Or it might be the sequel. The sequel you can sit. They added sitting into sequel. Which, as odd as that sounds, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's not like it's groundbreaking or anything, but yeah. It's a nice addition. 1,001 for 13. I am curious. Not too much, which makes sense. They're pretty easy. Really? The boss already? Alright. I guess we're hopefully doing this boss. Headhunter does happen to be a bit hard. Ow. My fault, my fault. Okay. The first form of Headhunter is not hard. It's the second and third form that give people trouble. That was my fault. I messed up. I should not have even gotten hit by her. I dunced it. I am a little bit worried because we're not doing a lot of damage. And since we're not doing a lot of damage... Jotaro, is that you? Okay, you're gonna go there. Oh, you're not gonna go quite where I thought you would, though. Fire! Fire yums! Okay, I was gonna say, that's probably my favorite attack. Like, that one can be a little bit hard to dodge. Okay. Like, for the most part, this form also is not too bad. It's the next form that I always happen to have a problem with. I don't know if anybody else does, but I do at least. Alright, let's do it. Come on down. Okay, apparently if we just duck. Alright. Let's just do this. Come on back down. Come on. Alright. Hey, don't do that. You gotta be on the ground with me. Nope, no thank you. Alright. Apparently this is an effective strategy. Whip Sword is really nice. Did not realize that. Headhunter does happen to be one of the better souls to have, honestly. I was gonna say, as of the moment, it doesn't raise everything, but basically the more souls you get, the better it gets. So, you know, as of the moment, it doesn't do a whole lot, but let's check in on that one later. Although we haven't gotten a soul in a while, which I'm okay with, honestly. The only problem with that is we need a few of them. I think you're the upgraded version now. Curly, yep. Okay, there's one of them. We actually need that one later, too. Which is really nice, then, that we got that. Valkyries don't do much damage, apparently. Or I got really lucky. Let's just go back down for a second. There's some more stuff to explore here, so I'd like to take care of that, especially since we're still close to the save room. And we're going to be wrapping this up here before too long. We took out 2 bosses this episode, though. That's not so bad, actually. I'm a little impressed. Not impressed, I guess. Happy with that, considering how much time we unfortunately wasted. Ow. Ow. Just go down. Ow. Alright, we're just gonna have our butt beats. Okay, so Valkyrie did damage that time. Doesn't just do one. I was still wondering why she just did one. Okay. And of course, there's a soul that we can use for this area later. And we might actually be able to make that if we happen to time our jumps just right. That's alright. Just gonna check 1 or 2 more things, and we'll call this episode good for now. Ow. Ow! Not quite do what I was expecting it to do. There we go. Oh, hey! Did we just get 2 now? Alright. Apparently we took out the headhunter a little bit easier than I was expecting then, because, you know. You gonna attack? Okay. Can only do that when he comes out to do that, so gotta be a bit quick. But you'd really think that he would get the hint that we were on to him after the first little bit. Hey, we can see Stoma's reflection. Because technically he's Dracula, so, you know, can't see reflections of vampires. I don't know if that is that way in this game. Oh, it's a witch. Oh, it's a fireball. It's not a fireball that time. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so those ones do actually. Student Witch does not do damage. The actual witch does. Interesting to note. Ow. Okay. We did that room. The only room we haven't done is the room we can't go into, so it's time for the clock tower next episode. It's a little bit of a shorter episode, but we did take out 2 bosses, which I was not expecting. As I said, Headhunter usually gives me a bit of problems. However, see, I think we were level 14 at the time. Might be a little bit overpowered for the Headhunter at the moment as well. That might be the big kicker there, honestly. Which, honestly, we also have a long psalm. Not the longest psalm. So it's probably good that we're ending a little bit early, because Psalm 78 is a little bit long. But as we always do, before we end the episode, let us give glory to God through prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do you, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world for the ruin of souls. Amen. Psalm 78. Give ear, O my people, to my teaching. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings from of old, things that we have heard and known that our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, but tell to the coming generation the glorious deeds of the Lord and his might, and the wonders which he has wrought. He established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers to teach to their children, that the next generation might know them. The children yet unborn and arise and tell them to their children, so that they should set their hope in God, and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments, and that they should not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation whose heart was not steadfast, whose spirit was not faithful to God. The Ephraimites, armed with the bow, turned back on the day of battle. They did not keep God's covenant, but refused to walk according to his law. They forgot what he had done, and the miracles that he had shown them. In the sight of their fathers he wrought marvels. In the land of Egypt, in the fields of Zoan, he divided the sea and let them pass through it, and made the waters stand like a heap in the daytime. He led them with a cloud, and all the night with a fiery light. He cleft rocks in the wilderness, and gave them drink abundantly as from the deep. He made streams come out of the rock, and caused waters to flow down like rivers. Yet they sinned still more against him, rebelling against the Most High in the desert. They tested God in their heart by demanding the food they craved. They spoke against God, saying, Could God spread a table in the wilderness? He smote the rocks so that water gushed out, and streams overflowed. Can he also give bread or provide meat for his people? Therefore, when the Lord heard, he was full of wrath. A fire was kindled against Jacob. His anger mounted against Israel, because they had no faith in God, and did not trust his saving power. Yet he commanded the skies above, and opened the doors of heaven. And he rained down upon them manna to eat, and gave them the grain of heaven. Man ate of the bread of the angels. He sent them food in abundance. He caused the east wind to blow in the heavens, and by his power he let out the south wind. He rained flesh upon them like dust, winged birds like the sand of the seas. He let them fall in the midst of their camp, all around their habitations, and they ate, and were well filled, for he gave them what they craved. But before they had sated their craving, while the food was still in their mouths, the anger of God rose against them, and he slew the strongest of them, and laid low the picked men of Israel. In spite of all this, they still sinned. Despite his wonders, they did not believe. So he made their days vanish like a breath, and their years in terror. When he slew them, they sought for him. They repented and sought God earnestly. They remembered that God was their rock, the Most High God, their Redeemer. But they flattered him with their mouths. They lied to him with their tongues. Their heart was not steadfast toward him, yet they were not true to his covenant. Yet he, being compassionate, forgave their iniquity and did not destroy them. He restrained his anger often, and did not stir up all his wrath. He remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passes and comes not again. How often they rebelled against him in the wilderness, and grieved him in the desert. They tested him again and again, and provoked the Holy One of Israel. They did not keep in mind his power, or the day when he redeemed them from the foe, when he wrought his signs in Egypt, and his miracles in the field of Zoan. He turned their rivers to blood, so they could not drink of their streams. He sent among them swarms of flies, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave their crops to the caterpillar, and the fruit of their labor to the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamores with frost. He gave over their cattle to the hail, and their flocks to thunderbolts, and let loose on them his fierce anger, wrath, indignation, and distress. A company of destroying angels, he made a path for his anger. He did not spare them from death, but gave their lives over to the plague. He smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the first issue of their strength in the tents of Ham. Then he led forth his people like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. He led them in safety, so that they were not afraid. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies, and he brought them to his holy land, to the mountain which his right hand had won. He drove out nations before them. He appointed them for a possession, and settled the tribes of Israel in their tents. Yet they tested and rebelled against the Most High God, and did not observe his testimonies, but turned away and acted treacherously like their fathers. They twisted like a deceitful bow, for they provoked him to anger with their high places. They moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When God heard, he was full of wrath, and he utterly rejected Israel. He forsook his dwelling at Shiloh, the tent where he dwelt among men, and grieved and delivered his power to captivity, his glory to the hand of the foe, and gave his people over to the sword, and vented his wrath on his heritage. Fire devoured their young men, and their maidens had no marriage song. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation. Then the Lord awoke us from sleep, like a strong man shouting because of wine. And he put his adversaries to rout. He put them to everlasting shame. He rejected the tent of Joseph, but he did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but he chose the tribe of Judah, Mount Zion, which he loves. He built his sanctuary like the high heavens, like the earth, which he has founded forever. He chose David his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from tending the ewes that had young. He brought them, to be the shepherd of Jacob, his people, of Israel, his inheritance. With upright heart he tended them, and guided them with skillful hand. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you very much for watching. You make sure you all have a wonderful day, and God bless.